Welcome to Crime Files TikTok Compilations, the vault of real horror, where murder isn't fiction and the footage never lies. In this collection, we unearth chilling clips, haunting case files, and real-life moments that expose the darkest corners of the human mind. What you're about to witness is raw, unsettling, and unforgettable. These aren't stories, they're warnings.
Breaking news in the case of Spencer and Monique Tepe. They have arrested her ex-husband and charged him with 2 counts of murder. This is Dr. Michael David McKee. You can see that he was booked on the 10th and has court on the 12th. Here's a closer view of his mugshot. Now, what's so strange about this is they got married in 2015 and they were divorced in 2017. So it's been years. They didn't have any kids together or any kind of baggage. So I'm wondering, after all of this time, why does he care about her life and what she's doing? And why on earth would he have done that? Well, allegedly. This is from the court website where you can see the 2 charges. Here's just a little bio about him. Dr. Michael David McKee, MD, is a healthcare provider primarily located in Rockford, Illinois, with another office in Columbus, Ohio. He graduated from medical school in 2014 and has 12 years of experience. His specialties include surgery and vascular surgery. Now, if you haven't been following this case, this is 37-year-old Spencer Tepe and his wife, 39-year-old Monique Tepe. He was a very respected dentist in Columbus, Ohio. On December 30th, he didn't show up for work, and his coworkers were immediately concerned because they said that is not like him at all. They tried to get a hold of Monique, but she wasn't answering either, so they called police to go over and do a welfare check, make sure they were okay. And actually, several coworkers not only called the police, but went over to the home to try to see. And in one of the 911 calls, a guy tells them that he could see Spencer's body laying on the floor and that the kids could be heard inside crying. They get inside and discover that both Spencer and Monique had fatal gunshot wounds, but the kids were left unharmed. They determined that Spencer had been shot multiple times and Monique had been shot once, and both of them were on the 2nd story, I think, in the bedroom. There were no signs of forced entry and they couldn't find a weapon, so they quickly determined it was a double homicide. And they thought it happened sometime between 2 and 5 o'clock in the morning. A couple days later, police released this video showing a man walking through the alley close to their home, but a lot of locals just thought he was some guy walking home from the bar, and they didn't really think this was anything. And then today, they arrested her ex-husband. It says here, records say police were able to identify McKee through neighborhood video surveillance. He was reportedly tracked to a vehicle that arrived just before the shootings and left shortly after. Detectives were able to identify the vehicle and link it to McKee, according to court records. They later located the vehicle in Rockford, Illinois, and found evidence that McKee had ownership of the vehicle.
Tonight at 11, this disturbing video just in. The husband of a missing Southland mother caught on camera dragging a large object wrapped in fabric. That video captured just days before the body of this mother of 3 kids was found dumped on the side of the road in the Angeles National Forest. Tonight, an international manhunt underway to locate Josimar Cabrera. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher joining us live with what we're learning tonight. Michelle?
Well, that victim who was killed, her mother tonight speaking from Peru about the last time she spoke with her daughter. Her daughter telling her that she intended to file domestic violence charges against her husband here in Southern California. That never happened. Her daughter now dead and her son-in-law now on the loose. Troubling surveillance video shows suspected killer Josemar Cabrera passing his neighbor's Ring camera as he pulls a large object wrapped in fabric.
He's dragging like some kind of a blanket with something inside. Probably he had the body in there. That's what I'm thinking.
An unsettling conclusion for Mario Sanchez, the Lancaster neighbor who captured the footage, sharing what he knew about Cabrera and his 33-year-old wife, Shayla Gutierrez, who was found dead in the Angeles National Forest 3 days ago.
I never had any interaction with the husband. He always seems like mad all the time, but with the wife, she was pretty nice.
LA County Sheriff's investigators say the mother of three's body was discovered over the side of an embankment, wrapped in a similar material as what was seen on the Ring camera. A search for answers in her death and a search for her husband, who is believed to be in Peru.
Muy reprimida, pero tengo que ser fuerte por mis nietos.
I'm very depressed, but I have to be strong for my grandchildren, says Gutierrez's mother. Cabrera reportedly giving her and other family members various accounts of his wife's whereabouts after she went missing more than a week ago. First claiming she was taken by ICE, later saying she left with another man, and then that she suffered an accident. Those who knew Gutierrez holding a small vigil with signs that read "Justice for Shayla."
Estamos acá sus amigos porque ella no tenía familia aquí en Estados Unidos.
One friend saying in Spanish, because she didn't have family here in the United States, we are her voice in the moment, and that's what we ask for. And as this investigation continues, the LA County Sheriff's Department saying they will be presenting this case to the LA County District Attorney's Office for consideration for murder charges and also to secure the necessary documents for Cabrera's return to the U.S. Anyone with information on this case is being asked to contact authorities. Reporting live tonight, I'm Michelle Fisher, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
This woman tricked a 96-year-old lady into signing over her $6 million home, and then she thought she was taking too long to pass, so she hired these two men to take her life. Violet Alberts was found dead in her home by her caretaker on May 27th of 2022 with a window shattered in that room. This caused authorities to conduct an investigation, and an autopsy revealed that she died by asphyxiation and her manner of death was ruled a homicide. They then found out that this was all a financial scheme started by this woman, 48-year-old Pauline Masserino. Masserino first offered to sell Alberts a reverse mortgage on her valuable home, but she then ended up making a series of transactions, including forging documents and establishing fraudulent entities, seeking ultimately to illegally gain access over her entire house. But she got tired of waiting for her to pass and thought that Alberts was living too long, so she hired two men to get the job done. That's when a 41-year-old and a 33-year-old man scouted out the home 3 days prior and then committed the act and then were seen fleeing in a vehicle. The two men were arrested on murder charges and Masserino was sentenced to 6 years and is pending charges.
A welfare check leading police to a trail of blood. 3 law enforcement sources familiar with the investigation say officers sent to check on residents at this Los Angeles home found blood and then broke in through a glass door on Monday afternoon, discovering a man and a woman dead inside. NBC News confirms the victims are American Idol music supervisor Robin Kay and her husband Thomas DeLuca, both age 70. The couple found in separate rooms. Both appeared to have been shot in the upper body, according to the law enforcement sources, who say they found Kay in the home's pantry and her husband in the bathroom. Police were called to that same house last Thursday after reports of a prowler.
My renter saw somebody hopping the fence, but that was back on Thursday. She called 911, but we didn't hear anything since then.
Police now believe the murders took place that same day, but found no signs of forced entry at the time. The investigation later revealed the suspect entered the home through an unlocked door.
This is the moment a teen broke down in court after he was sentenced for a fatal crash that killed 3 women. In April 2024, 15-year-old Michael Santiesteban took his father's SUV for a joyride in Florida without a license or permission. Speeding at over 80 miles per hour, he crashed into a parked car, killing 3 women. 39-year-old Yarnia Garcia Hernandez, her aunt Gloria Hernandez, and her mother Liliana Hernandez Molina all passed away. The teen was charged as an adult with vehicular homicide and driving without a license causing death. In February 2025, he pleaded guilty. During his sentencing, his father pleaded for leniency, reminding the court that Maycole was just a child, and his attorneys argued that his brain had not fully developed. However, prosecutors said he was not a little kid and should be punished for his actions. Maycole was sentenced to 15 years in prison, followed by 15 years of probation, during which he cannot obtain a driver's license. However, the families felt the sentence didn't equate to the loss they suffered. Do you think the sentence was fair? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
This is so heartbreaking. The medical examiner has revealed the cause of death for 19-year-old Camila Mendoza Olmos as a single GSW to her head that was self-inflicted. If you haven't been following this case, she's out of Bexar County, Texas, and she was last seen on Christmas Eve. Early in the morning, her mom saw her as she was getting out of bed. And then a video clip showed her outside rummaging through her car. It's not known exactly what she was looking for, but she had left her cell phone on her bed. And nobody was really concerned at first. Her mom said she would frequently go on a morning walk, so she just figured that's what she was doing. But then she didn't come back. She was reported missing and a big search started for her. The police asked anybody in the area to check their video doorbells, their dash cams, anything. And somebody actually spotted her walking along the road at around 7 o'clock on Christmas Eve morning. And then a family member of hers, I believe it was her brother, noticed that his GUN was missing. People asked the family if there was any way that she could have taken it to self-harm, but they said absolutely no way. She wouldn't do that to herself and she wouldn't do that to her family. And then on December 30th at around 4:45 in the afternoon, a search party located a body very close to her home. They said it was within a few hundred yards. And at that time, the Bexar County Sheriff didn't identify her as being that body, but did confirm that the clothes were the same and a GUN was located pretty close to her. The body was actually located in an area that had already been searched, but the brush was as tall as 4 feet tall, so they had missed her the first time. On December 31st, they positively identified the body as being Camila, and then a little bit later after that, the ME stated the cause of death was a self-unaliving by a single GSW to her head. I feel so horrible for her family, especially her mother. I mean, to lose your child and in that way and on Christmas Eve of all days. It's just awful. She was so beautiful and wanted to be an orthodontist someday, and her family had no idea that she was having these types of thoughts.
7. Police say security video captured 18-year-old Alexis Avila toss a black bag into the trash. Dumpster divers later found it and discovered a baby alive inside. When she talked to investigators, she told them she had back pain the day before.
I went to the clinic and they did a urine sample and they told me I was pregnant, and that's when I found out.
When the investigator pushed, she said she'd taken a pregnancy test in August.
Well, I took 2. One was positive, one was negative. I took the negative.
On the day Avila gave birth, she told investigators she'd been out of school for a week with what she thought was constipation.
I went to the restroom. I was in pain. I was up all night I was asleep and I go to the restroom and just all hours of the night.
When she went to the bathroom again, she says that's when the baby was born. She took the baby and drove around.
I had 2 trash bags. I took one with me, which is the one that I had, and then I put it again, and then I drove around and I didn't know what to do, and I just put it in there.
That was in the dumpster by this business. She told investigators she was scared.
What do you mean?
It's not.
In a panic when I just turned 18.
Right. It still isn't, though. We're talking about a baby.
Well, I know what you mean, but like, I get what you mean.
During the interview, Avila said if the baby was okay, that she wanted to keep it. Stephanie.
Imagine a man so dangerous that he's sentenced to 450 years in prison. A very manipulative and sinister individual who's a huge threat to the outside world and even a menace behind bars. This is the story of Nico Jenkins, one of the scariest inmates to have ever lived. Years ago, Nico went viral all over the internet for his intimidating look and gained an online reputation of killing whoever looks at him. But how much of that is actually true, and what crazy thing has he done to be locked away for 450 years? Nico's always had a troubled life. From a young age, he was a witness and victim of many traumatic experiences. I mean, just take a look at this guy's lineage. His family has wreaked havoc in Omaha for generations. Anyways, needless to say, 7 of his close family members, like his mother, father, 3 sisters, uncle, and cousin, are all felons. We'll get to what role all of them played in this soon, but just know that the worst of them all is Nico.
Every clip you watched is more than just a story. It's a chilling reminder that real life can be darker than fiction. If these crimes shook you, disturbed you, or left you with questions, don't stay silent. Hit that subscribe button to join a community that refuses to forget. Like this video to keep these stories alive. Share it to spread awareness, and drop a comment with your thoughts. Who do you think was really behind it, or what part shocked you most?